Okay, so um, at last session, you all found yourselves kind of escaping Dapplewing Manor and returning to your dorms, where you had a conversation about kind of how dangerous Dapplewing Manor ended up being, and what were like the highlights of the conversation? Does anybody remember? Jess, do you remember what the?
I think most of it was just like discussing strategy and things like that, and really like coming together on what we should do in the future when faced with situations like that, and basically crowning Sven as like our operational lead for things like this.
Mm-hmm.
Also, is my mic any better?
Yeah, that was definitely 200%. That
Yeah,
was
I
great.
tried to be like really soft. I was like, just in case this works again.
That was good now.
It worked.
That's definitely like it was
Okay.
before. Nice, yeah. And then
But yeah.
I think you talked a little bit about the different things that you'd seen on campus. Because so far you've faced things like strange sort of occurrences with this strange black ichor that you found. You've had extra examinations given by disgruntled teachers, run-ins with students who have had their experimentations go wrong multiple times now. And in fact, as you left the dorm room, one of those such things came to pass again, as Quintilius was running out after you all from their own dorm, seemingly, with a entourage of furniture following him and trying to play out a scene with him as if it were the real deal, of some monologue he was practicing, of a kind of a scene where his character was on the chopping block. And yeah, you helped him act out the scene, kind of improvised what your roles, your actual characters would do in such a circumstance, and got Quintilius and Grayson out of the scene in one piece, and rather unscathed thanks to your efforts. So the sound of creaking subsides, and all that is left is the soft patter of rain and the strange breathing of your classmates. That was awesome, terrifying but wonderful. Maybe I should add something like that to my performance next year, Quintilius chimes, a wide smile on his face as he takes a theatrical bow to the entire party. Don't even think about it, Quintilius, Grayson warns, as he's bent over, hands on knees, trying to catch his breath. Fine, fine, Quintilius says, but after checking to make sure Grayson isn't looking, the red-haired Quintilius gives you all a wink. But yes, thank you all again for the help here. I was practicing for next term's talent show and wanted to make sure I had a cast for which to perform the villain's monologue, but, well, something happened. Admittedly, the play isn't an ancient one, and I still can't get that idiot Drasimir to help me decipher the one word I need. I think I botched it again. That or the magic in our apartment is still going haywire. Did any of you get hurt? He says, looking you all up and down.
I think I got smacked with a chair a couple times, but other than that, I'm okay. Coughs up a bubble.
Oh, yeah.
That armoire tried to bite me. I'm definitely Trevex is like slashed up. He's bloodied. He's below half health. It's like I'm okay. I guess.
How are you doing?
Who's that to?
Mostly, Dreverex looks a little bit worse than Aogen. Sounds worse off to Daymore at least. So it's directed at Dreverex. So, do either of you require like immediate attention? I could apply a bandage.
I really just need a moment to sit, I think.
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
could you...
got a little bit of a headache. Probably could use a nap.
As you take a seat on one of the benches nearby, you look over and notice there is a leaflet for something called the Ice Palace.
Seymour will read over the pamphlet.
As you read over the
Kinda
pamphlet,
idly as they wait.
as you read over the pamphlet, you see that there is the annual winter trip to the Ice Palace. Tickets only 10 gold pieces each, subsidized by Strixhaven University for all current faculty, for all current and past faculty and alumni. Buy your ticket today at the student shop in the biblioplex, and you see kind of like there's a bunch of like activities listed on the back of it. Hold on, let me get my list. You see that it says race dire huskies, enjoy lavish meals, go for the annual tree dressing, and then there are, one second, where did I write this down? Oh, it's on a piece of paper that's upstairs. There's things like ice fishing competitions where you can win lots of gold. There is yodeling, there's skiing, and like a myriad of other like winter festival sorts of themed activities.
Totally.
And last but certainly not least, the climax of the event, the Great Northern Lights show. And this is all like on this leaflet with like a bunch more information.
About partway through that, I would have pulled Prosperine over to take a look at it.
Let's say Prosperine is probably just coming out of the door this moment, and Prosperine, you see just this like myriad of furniture and you know, all of your dorm mates and, you know, your other classmates sort of like panting and trying to catch their breath after everything that's gone on, and in Seymour's hand you see this this leaflet to the Ice Palace.
Guys, I think it's only been like 6 minutes. What?
Accurate.
Like, I just had to use the restroom. What happened when I was gone?
I was a mad
Oh, a
scientist
lot.
for a hot minute.
And I a loyal bodyguard.
You all did
to
perform
Mr.
your
Quintilius there, who tried to, who accidentally almost got us all killed, trying to enchant furniture.
it's not entirely my fault. I was just rehearsing a ancient monologue. It's in a different language than I know, and as I said, Razumir not help me with a final word. He says I've been too rude to him or something. I mean, me, rude. Could you imagine? You see Grayson looking over, kind of rolling his eyes.
Okay, I understand. Just another event for Truck Gang, I guess. Fair enough.
Trunk
And
gang.
love it. He does our sign and everything too.
I've heard you have been getting in quite the few scrapes and issues, Grayson says. Has this got something to do with, I don't know, the magic here is weird with the snarls and all that kind of thing?
Yes, well, the snarls seem to love us.
Yeah, that's an understatement. And then Prospering notices like the leaflet in Seymour's hand.
Yeah, he'll hand it off to you. He's
Oh,
gonna check his. He pulls out his coin purse as he's sitting down, though, and he's just gonna check his money.
Oh, so this is to the Ice Palace. I actually got a message from my mother about this. She got me a ticket to it.
Ah,
Oh, you're coming to the Ice Palace too?
That was the plan. And he looks to like the rest of the group. Are you guys going? I mean, I'm sure we can get you in if I can get a message back to my mom.
who is your mother?
Out of character. Oh no.
Well,
your
how does she have connections to? How, yeah, she must
your
know.
mother
She
is.
must know somebody.
Do I have your mother?
I don't know if I actually ever gave you.
Well,
You
his
never
whole
gave- you
family
never
is,
gave
like,
me a mother.
alumni, right?
Yeah.
Yes, whole family's
Okay.
alumni.
Oh, the Ice Palace is open to anybody, any current students.
But I'll have to pay 10 gold to get in, so it won't be open.
I mean, I can cover you. I mean, money's not really an issue.
Oh, no,
No, I don't-
don't worry about it. It's the least I can do for the help you've given me today. I'll cover the rest of this group's tickets if you're all okay with that.
It's like 40 gold. Are you sure?
I have some of my own connections. He says, looking over to Prosperi and sort of like preening as he says this.
Yeah.
Prospering gives him like just a small smile and a nod.
It's a great way to meet people and make connections. I've also heard the faculty can get really wild and drop their guard quite a bit. And then you see Grayson lean in, eager to gossip as well. And Grayson says, apparently last year, Eudora, the gardener, held a tree party. And something about the tree pollen had everybody hallucinating. So much that Chef Guillaume started serving ice sculptures as food. And more than a few professors had to go to the dentist the next day.
Huh. Well, don't let Mellithorn hear about that. You might actually have some fun.
Seymour like touches his fangs, like, no, not a dentist.
Quintilius looks over to Grayson and then over to you, Dravrax, as you say this, and then back to Grayson. And Quintilius says, is Melwithorn still in our apartment? Have you seen them recently? And Grayson says, I still don't know that they were ever in our apartment. I think this was you just seeing things.
Roommates with
Oh,
Mel?
you're having. That sounds weird. He's not. Do you room together or do you not?
Oh, no, he is supposed to live with Shavadri and Greta and Bedham. But he was walking around our apartment. I saw it clear as day. He was doing something strange with some plant or something.
That sounds like Mel, for sure. Was he speaking to
Mel?
it with Thorn? He looks away from you. He doesn't make eye contact. Proceeding.
Dravex does that uncomfortably close, like look, like head turn, look over, before walking away and not pressing.
It's even
the
more
issue.
intense of a look away. He like doubles down on the look away. He like looks at the earth. But so not roommates, and you guys.
Well, this is what I don't understand.
it's
You're not
odd.
really
It's odd.
supposed to be able to get into each other's apartments without keys or something. That's why I'm telling you it was a dream, Quintilius. I don't think you saw what you thought you. I saw what I knew. I saw what I saw. I haven't been huffing Eudora's pollen just yet. Thank you very much.
Seymour's gonna write that down.
Huffing
Drugs.
pollen's really not recommended. It's there's
Pollen.
Well, hold on. Weird dreams are not weird things that happen on this campus shouldn't be discounted. It probably happened for a reason. It probably is magical to do with.
I mean, has anything else weird happened at your dorms?
You mean aside from the fact Melithorn was looking at this weird plant and with black mold or something on it and just playing his day in my dorm?
What?
I heard that Nora got attacked by a giant goop or something. Apparently some students had to help her out.
Yeah, that was us.
Yep.
Oh gosh, you really have been involved in lots of things.
They just seem to find us.
Did he take the mold with him out? Did he? Did you not cry out to them when you saw him?
No, as soon as I saw him in the room, I was going to the toilet. It was the middle of the night. As soon as I saw him, I ran
dear.
back toward Grayson, and well, when I got Grayson and Cadorus and Rosie as backup, I'm not going to deal with Melithorn on my own, not after what Aurora's told me about him. I went into the living room again, and he was gone. No trace of him.
If you guys have time later, could I would you like to hang out in your guys' dorm? I just wanna me and Mel are on the same team, so I'll just ask him about it myself, and then also, can I come check out your guys' dorm later? See if there's any of that mold around.
Not even waiting for an invitation, are we, Seymour? I see how it is.
I might be looking for some interior design ideas in like your style.
You like see Quintilius like put a mock hand over his like chest to be like, me?
Well, anyone who has the furniture attack the unwanted guests, it's definitely preferred idea.
But Grayson rolls his eyes and says, you can come over if you like, but this was a few nights ago. Melithorn, I asked Melithorn about it myself, and they say that they weren't anywhere near our dorm, and they were in their own, but they did seem confused as to how we knew they were up in the middle of the night looking at plants, so I left it after that because it was kind of getting a weird conversation, but I mean, half the time talking to Melithorn about anything's a weird conversation, so...
Reach, sister.
Grayson gives you a smile.
I'm so sorry.
Rosie and Cadorus run out of this part, and Rosie says, oh my gosh, I can't believe that all happened. Are you okay? Did anyone get hurt? Oh, it's the furniture again. Well, you need to stop doing this, Cadorus. I mean, not Cadorus, I mean, Quintilius. No, now you got me getting you confused again. I'm going to be late for LARPing. Is anyone else going to LARPing today? Hey, Dreverix, how are you? And just like speaking a mile a minute, she always does.
That Rosie?
Yes.
Hi, Rosie. Nice to see you. Yeah, I'll try to make LARP today.
Hi, Dreverix. Hi, Sven. Hi, Seymour. Hi, Aegon. Hi, Brosbreen.
Hello.
Sven
As long as you promise not to be the villain this time.
raised
Winks
his
at her.
I will destroy you all! She says, cackling away, and you just hear her like zoom past you. This like 3'2" gnome just zooming off into the distance.
That should be his mad scientist.
Was she joking?
I really hope not. I mean, yes, I hope so. That's.
She says that every rehearsal. I love her to death, but...
I mean, her character's really leveled up a lot recently, Cadora starts saying. It's kind of amazing if you think about it. Oh, yeah, no, it's just part of the live-action role-playing thing, but she's got, like, loads of new spells at the moment. She's worked out some new rituals. It's really cool. In character.
You don't have to keep your hand up. Did you need something, bud?
I was just waving. I've seen it done.
Fascinating, Quintilius says, looking over at Sven, like kind of like eyeing Sven up and down. Sven, are you still interested in what Kadoris and I talked about with you? We could go together to this LARPing later and see what they've been working on. Maybe I'll give us a few ideas.
Yes. It would definitely help me to record some potential poses for small figures.
And then Kadoris looks over to Trevox and says, "Talking about poses, have you? How's your cheer squad going?"
Well, we have practice later on today. Xanther and I are always trying new tricks out, and they don't always work, but we're getting better.
It's the big Mage Tower Cup next year. Do you think you're going to try out for an actual team, or do you think you're going to stay with the cheer squad?
Oh, gosh.
It's quite the prize, I hear. Quintilius pipes up.
I don't know. I'll have to see what Xanther is doing. I mean, I'll have to I'll have to talk about that. I'll have to talk that over with the team.
Seymour, surely you're going to try out. Mrs. Grayson.
It might detract from my studies. He kind of looks at the group. It's like clear that he wants to do it.
You study? I didn't think you cared about such a thing, Quintilius says rather rudely.
Quintilius!
What? I'm just
pulls
saying.
all-nighters often.
Yeah,
You
he
should
just
see
furrows his
him.
eyebrows and he just stares at him.
I've never seen anyone more like a night owl than this guy.
Well,
I
that-
drink the midnight oil. I do not burn it.
That's a bit extreme, man. Jeez.
It's a lie. It was a lie.
Also,
Only
are you
Sven
looking
does
at the
that.
pamphlet? What's yodeling?
Oh
I'd
god,
like to
that
attempt
sounds
the
like
yodel.
a torture practice.
What's that? What did you say?
I'd like to
But,
attempt the
oh
yodel.
god, it sounds like a torture practice.
It's an ancient form of alpine cattle calling or singing, I believe. Quintilius says.
That's not how
It's
you
singing.
call a cow. You just call them by their name.
Maybe if you get any good at it at the Ice Palace, you'll have a talent to show at the talent show. Quintilius says, looking over to Aegon.
Sure. I mean, if anyone just wants to see me call a cow, though, I mean, it's really easy.
What is the number? What do you
Thank
got?
you. Thank you very much.
No, you call them by their name.
Yes. Do they respond via message or something?
I'm so confused. Do you guys call cows on devices?
Never called a cow a day in my life, Aegon. I'm sorry.
We do not have
Strange.
cows in the mines.
I don't know that I've seen a cow, Aegon.
They're not great on stairs.
Seeing a cow.
Actually, Gracie does pretty well on stairs. You should see her. One time she snuck into
What?
our kitchen. There's just a couple of steps, but she did really well.
Oh. Very brave.
Snuck an apple right out of our kitchen, but I may have let her do it.
Is that something you could bring to the talent show, do you think? Would they let a cow on the road stage? I mean, I don't see why not. They let Dresimir there, so...
Feels a little exploitative.
Damn.
It's just a cow.
I mean, then what talent are you going to bring to the talent show?
Oh, I don't perform. I mean, this mad scientist thing was really just once in a lifetime. You saw the premiere and the finale all in one.
tell me you're joking.
Nope, nope. I'm not a comedian either. I couldn't do that.
Well,
I think you're funny. I think you're funny.
Professor Totsky's already shown off the prize. It's this gorgeous cloak, and I, for one, am certainly going to be trying to win it.
I'm sure any gorgeous cloak Draverax could just make it.
I mean, I have heard that Dravrax has been helping a lot, has been helping Rosie out a lot with the sports kits and stuff. If you're into sports chic, I guess it would work. But this is more of a performer's cloak, you know, and it apparently even has magical properties.
What, you think I can't work with
Oh.
magic? He acts in like a sly, friendly smile.
Have you worked with any magic? Have you got something you could show us?
Well, I was planning on adjusting that cute smock you see on
That's why they're wearing that that abominable piece. I thought it was some Warforged thing.
No, it is magical. I just need the materials, but with the right materials I can work on anything.
So Grayson then turns to Sven and says, "So you're wearing that by choice?"
It is something that we have been working on. We require certain resources that we have not been able to procure.
Okay.
We actually need essence of mimic to
Ew.
You do?
Exactly.
we have a custom we have a customization in mind that will make this garment much more pleasing to behold, but
Hey,
would
hey,
require-
hold on. Didn't you all fight a mimic in the Biblioplex? Cadorus pipes up.
Sure did.
Well then, why didn't you just... I don't know. How do you get essence of mimic?
Thank you.
I don't know.
Oh. Well then, where do you get essence of mimic?
I haven't been able to find it in any of my research. Not quite. I'm still working on it though.
You research? Quintilius says yet
I
again.
Basically, I basically hit the field all day and then I get in my books, my guy. I don't know what.
Look, with
I don't
shoes
know what
like
to
that,
tell
I just
you.
thought you were an active person. I didn't think studying was important to you.
You know, Draverax has been real busy. I know they're stinky shoes. Draverax has been very, very busy.
I mean, it does put into doubt the fact that Dravrax has just said he can work with magical things, then all of a sudden there's these shoes and no
Totally
other
left me
magical
with
equipment to
these.
show about it, but... And you're leaving poor Sven in that. I mean, really?
Yes.
it is resistant to acid.
We could paint it, though. Can I paint you, Sven?
Again, magic takes time and resources. Things that someone who works the job doesn't always have time to
You see Quintilius like dramatically like put a hand to his forehead and like fake faint. Don't I know it? I mean, look at what I've had to work with, he says, gesturing around him.
Well, imagine if you actually could read the words that you needed by studying them.
I know. Honestly, I don't see why people don't help me. Drasimir is holding on to this book that I need. A real stickler for it. If I could just get that, I think I'll be able to really turn this at the talent show and really give people a run for their money. Because, you know, I would like that cloak after all. I'm sure, obviously, what you can make, Dravrax, is far exceeding anything that, you know, an esteemed Professor Totsky could make after years of study and graduation and degrees and experience, but it is something I'd still like to win anyway.
Mm-hmm. What was that name drop he just gave?
Well, you know, I mean, second hand
Professor
isn't bad.
Totsuke.
Thank you.
I'll have you know, I do belong to the most esteemed Weavers Guild back in all of Ravnica.
Oh, that's awesome. You get the impression that Quintilius is like not understanding like the social friction he's causing, and is just like living for talking with you all.
Mm.
I will say, for some friendly competition, Quintilius, you will have to beat my fashion show.
Now that's what I wanted to hear. So you're entering in the fashion show. Okay, I see. And that I would like to. Who's modeling?
Oh, I assume I'm a write-in.
I can lend you some furniture if you like, Trabrax.
I have a couple models in mind.
Xanther.
Aegon!
Oh, well, he's done. He doesn't need me. Yeah, you're right.
You
Yeah,
just hear
but-
this
but-
cheeping little laughter. These little tweets.
So, Trabrax, do you think if Xanther enters into a Mage Tower team, you'll enter into one too? And would it be the same one, or do you think you'd want to, you know, go against Xanther and maybe make a grapple check or something?
Well, we're a team, aren't we?
Who's the team?
Xanther and I are on the same team.
For Cheer Squad, sure, but I mean, Mage Tower is a different thing. You got to choose your team wisely. I mean, this isn't until next year, but something to think about now.
Mage Tower? What is...
What do you mean?
Wait, no, I thought
It's
you were
the
talking
thing
about
you-
Cheer Squad. What are you talking about?
The thing you cheer for, Mage Tower, the game. You know,
Well, I don't pay attention to the game.
You know those people that run around and, you know...
Quintilius just
frequently
says.
playing when you're cheering.
Quintilius just says, "Girl, I understand completely," and then Grayson just like rolls his eyes into the back of his head. This is why I never ask you to help me out with the business side of things. You're always too busy paying attention to something else. What? It's not my fault. Yeah. It's not my fault. The cheer squad are dazzling. Oh yeah, it's the cheer squad you're paying attention to. I just have a little aside.
Well, what is Mage Tower? What kind of game is it?
It's sort of like a. Well, how to explain? There's two towers either side. This is Kidoris. Two towers either side. You got to get up to the top of the one. It's kind of like a capture the flag, get their flag, and return it to your tower. There's fighting in the middle. You can, you know.
Fighting?
Couldn't people just fly to the other side?
I mean, there's the advantage with people that fly. Exactly. Have you got a team yet, Aegon? Do you want to think about what team you're gonna go for?
I'm not much of a competitive person.
We've got a
gotta
year.
say.
Like instantly, Kidoris like butts in and kind of like starts moving towards you.
I'm working on them.
Oh, so you are joining?
Seymour? What? I don't.
I'm working on
I gotta
you.
look in. Oh, okay.
You'll have the fighting spirit. Actually, I've been wanting to know if you've ever wanted to join me on the field. I've invited Prosperine, but they declined, and so has Sven.
The field, like gardening?
Yeah. No, I meant the silk ball. It's not as contact heavy as Mage Tower, which is why it's preferred back home. But
You realize I'm like the same size as that ball, right? If not smaller.
he thinks about it. That's fair.
Now, Seymour, as a friend, don't be spreading yourself too thin. Obviously, I mean, you've even got an exam tomorrow. Are you prepared for that?
Oh God.
Oh no, I'm studying overnight. I'm not ready.
Is this every time? Quintilius
Every time.
leans over to Prosperine and asks.
Oh.
Yes. every single time.
How is that? How is living with them all? They all seem so. He like looks at you, Prospering, and then looks at the rest of them. Different.
Me and Aogen are going into it.
Different culture.
We bring out the best and possibly the worst of each other, but I will have to say that we always overcome any situation as a group. We've never done anything, honestly, I would say individually, that we haven't helped each other out somehow. So surprisingly, all kinds of different ingredients mashed together come out to be quite good.
Well, that's a glowing review. Look, do you think, seeing as you're also into everything, it seems, that you could do me a small favor, seeing as I'm happily paying for these Ice Palace tickets for you all?
Well, I mean, you're doing that because we saved your ass from a chair and a piano. Right?
And an armoire.
And an armoire and a scroll. That scroll was mean. I'm pretty sure.
I was
you-
surprised
and
by the scroll, I have to be
candelabra
honest.
really got me.
Where did that scroll go, actually? But yes, you are right. I just.
I shoved it in his pocket and told him that maybe he should
Yeah,
read
that's
the
it.
script
What
next
can-
time.
What can we help you with, Quintilius? As a
I-
friend.
That's that book.
really want that book, yes. You, Aegon's nailed it. You could just go and ask Drasimir and stop being a complete bitch to him. You do know that, right? I'm not
Isn't there more
being...
than one copy?
No, it's one of these
No.
old ancient languagey books. It's, I mean, there's very few people that can decipher it anyway, and making a copy of such a thing is, in and of itself, its own issue. You see, there aren't printing presses that have the correct keys to make this thing, and to copy it magically costs money, which the university doesn't want to pay for such an obscure thing. It's not even like it's
However,
hard, it's just this monologue that I like. It's something between, I don't know, cross between like Loxodon and Primordial or something. It's something I've not really come across before. But
Interesting.
oh, didn't you folks go to a place recently, Sven, that had we all? How was that ruin, the Loxodon place? How are you doing since that? We all came together and left you some things. I left you some extra cupcakes we had from the bake sale. I don't know if you got those.
Oh, those were yours in particular.
I mean, I didn't bake them. I just paid for them, but sure.
I like your style.
The shrine was there were some unexpected elements, and some of our tactical planning did not
Exist.
did not bear out in practice.
I heard Plag got really beat up, Kadora says.
He saved
Seymour
us.
almost died.
It was nothing compared to what happened to the ones who were cursed at the very end. The cursed was the worst part for sure. Only me and
God.
Sven's were I believe, yeah, and Draverax, I believe you were conscious still, right?
Yes. Carrying people.
You're not still feeling odd, are you guys, from that? Like, Prospering, you're good and going, and Aogen, you're fine. You guys haven't said anything about it. I assume the cursed feelings are gone.
There was a curse.
Oh, buddy, it was bad in there.
Yeah.
Was it a curse? Was it a disease?
A mummy's curse, right?
That's
I mean,
what
it felt
that's
like
what
a curse,
that's
but
what
it
that's
also
what that's
felt
what the
kinda like
nurse
magic.
that's what the
Sorry, that's
infirmary nurse would have said to you. Yeah.
It did feel kind of like a nap, though, so I can't really say that I feel any different.
I will have to say, I did get hit only once, and then I woke up. So I would have to say that's a fair assessment.
You all do seem to get involved in a lot of things. Do you ever worry that there's maybe an actual curse following you? He says, giving a very like specific look to Prospering.
Say more,
Well,
shudder.
that would be. Like you see Prospering like honestly like kind of shut down.
Aw.
Like he looks like genuinely worried of this like thought of like could his own like curse have followed him and evolved outside of just him.
Kadoris, you haven't invited any of them back to our apartment before, have you? And then Kadoris like says, "You're being really rude, Quintilius. I'm sure they're fine, and even if I did, it wouldn't matter. I was just thinking, if they do have a curse, and we've been having these weird problems with our Lexa and then Melwithorn just running about our apartment, then maybe that's got something to do with it." And like you just see Grayson rubbing his like temples. Are we keeping any of you from anything? I don't want to, make any of you late for lessons or anything like that. Is Quintilius can probably keep on going for a while, you got to watch out for these things. Oh, now I'm the one who's being rude, Quintilius says.
Sven, when's your shift?
Yeah, what time of day is it at the moment?
It's morning,
And what time is my shift?
whenever you want it to be.
Thing that's the most
Well,
punctual
shit.
and that's very
You tell me,
important.
sis.
It's Sven, if you're ever running late, I know that you never are. You're super good at it, actually. It's actually really impressive how punctual you are. Respect, brother. But if you ever are running late, hit me up. I'd love to practice some vortex warping just to stress myself out. you know?
If I'm running late, I will let you know. My shift this evening. My shifts start at approximately 3 p.m. so that I can do some side work before the dinner rush starts.
You nearly seem as confident as your working hours. Seymour seems about his studying. That's, gosh, I do wonder how your group will do with the exam tomorrow.
That's the fine colors like we always do.
Yep, we've done pretty well so far. And then Agan like kind of leans over to Dravrex and is like, do we tell him that we can decipher that, or do we just let him stew in it?
The first exam you had was wild. I mean, I can't believe Virelda sided with Melwithorn like that. That was really unfair.
Yes, it seems a lot of unfair things like to happen at this institution. But we make the most of it. We are blessed by Madame Eldoth, of course.
And if
Certainly no
we're
curse.
cursed with greatness. Agan puts their hands on their tiny little bird hips.
Seymour does do that emphasized cough. That wasn't me coughing hard into the mic, guys.
No.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
All right, I was trying to emphasize it, but I would like for the. Are we recording? We are live, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I just want everyone on the screen to be like, "Ew, Tom really
Ew.
gave it his all into the
What
mic."
were
just
you?
now."
What were? Give me help my passive insight here. What were you coughing
Sure.
for?
Driver probably knows that Seymour doesn't have the fondest opinion of gods in general.
Ah.
He believes in like, he's mentioned it. They've talked about philosophy where he's like, I believe more in myself than some other entity. But then he's like, but I can't deny the power that you have, You are an extremely young and talented person. You're much younger than me. Sven's way younger than both of us. But like but truly more comfortable. Like you're much younger than Aogan and me. Like you're a prodigy. He's a prodigy. So anyway, so all he does is cough because he's not confident enough to actually speak against
Mm-hmm.
point. So You're the DM. You get the perfect nat 20 and
Thank you. Oh my gosh, he's quiet.
Oh, Spirit, look at him.
What is it? Hi. Oh hi. I wish Stream had access to our
Okay.
Discord so that they could understand why we're all just making sounds. Essentially, the best way I can describe it. What's the GIF lookup that people would search to find this thing? Because I should favorite one of these.
I just put in baby robot.
Baby robot.
I'm gonna start adding baby to my GIF searches now and see what happens.
Well, I think
I'm sorry,
I have...
that was some random arcane talking. Where were we, Kadoris?
Well, I was wondering if you're going to what you're doing later. I mean, it seems like you have a few things going on. One of you has work. You evidently need to study. The rest of you seem to have extracurriculars or something. I mean, and then like in some of your minds, you remind yourselves that you've got the meeting with Plague later as well. I was hoping, Quintilius continues, that somebody would help me talk to Drasimir because he's dull and boring and I don't want to do it, but I really could do with that book if I'm supposed to do this talent show any justice next term. Well, seeing as I'm already rewarding you generously with the tickets to the Ice Palace, he says, looking over to Aegon
generously.
coldly. Then I suppose I could also meet you for drinks at the games or something. Bring some snacks. I don't know. What do you like eating?
Seeds.
S-
Love seeds.
Seeds. I could bring you seeds and
I'd rather not
peanuts.
mention it.
He says, looking over to Dravrax.
What are you... I mean, I like peanuts, but it doesn't...
You just look like the kind of person who's into peanuts.
I love that though.
Okay. Sure, Quintilius. Thank you.
Oh no! Don't thank me until you've sorted out Drasimir.
Aegon leans back over to Dravrax. Yeah, we definitely don't tell this guy anything.
It can be cool. I need the group to like me.
Well, then should we tell him, or should we just get Xanther to ask for you?
What? What does everyone think? What do I...
Kadoris has Kadoris who is already approaching Aegon beforehand, sees you both whispering anyway, and then when you it seems to settle down, he kind of leans over and says, "I'm really sorry about Quintilius. He's really nice, honestly. He just takes some getting used to. He's quite a lot of fun though."
Aegon is
believe-
unconvinced.
I believe you, Kadoris.
Bet you do.
Apparently, him and Grayson go way back, so I'm sure there's reasons they've been friends for that long.
Well, Quintilius, if we can't convince Drasimir to lend you this book, there's a chance that Dravrax and I could translate it for you.
What, are you in sorts with that robot as well?
What?
There's a robot that Drasimir hangs around with who knows how to translate ancient languages.
No, I speak Primordial and Dravrax
Wait,
speaks
what?
Loxodon and...
Oh my! Oh, that's amazing! Wow, okay, that's pretty cool. Gosh,
Yeah,
your
so
group
we-
is full of surprises.
Yeah.
No. These guys are kind of incredible. I have my arms crossed, but I do a little gesture with like my pointer finger, like a little whip, a little hand whip back and forth, pointing at everyone.
It's so strange
Um,
you choose to be modest about like all these abilities you have, and then wear such a loud statement like that, Smog. I mean, God, what a juxtaposition.
Well, one of
I'm
us
gonna
has
go
to
to cheer.
be.
He won't let me apply gold dust to him. Not once, dude. He won't make me. He won't let me shine.
You
him.
don't want glitter?
Thank you. Do you want some right now?
Oh,
He's,
yes,
he's already
God.
reaching in his bag.
I mean,
Reaches
He goes,
Look
"This
at-
is
look-
actual- this is actual gold dust, but we're family.
look at
We're
these
tight,
cheeks,
we're
Mama.
cousins."
These are highlighted for the gods. You think I don't want gold dust? I mean, really?
He pulls out a little brush. It looks like the kind of brush like paleontologists would use, but it's clean.
Oh, you have been to the ruins. Gosh, look at you, all prepared.
He blushes slightly. Yes, absolutely.
I wanted to ask you about this actually. Like you can see again, I will tell you now. You can see
They're
Quintilius
really
is
close.
going to go on. You said you nearly died in the ruins. What would happen if you died? I mean, you're already sort of your circulatory system's different. Let's say that.
All right, I need somebody else take over. I can't talk and apply this glitter. Somebody else take over real quick. Your eyes are really intense too, Quinn.
Thank you. People normally talk about my hair, but I think actually my best feature is my eyes.
Maybe I should practice the theater makeup. Get on the crew or something.
Well, I will say that Winona Berg and El Pine, the owners of the Ice Palace, they're darlings. They're actually drag performers, so whilst we're there, we could learn a thing or two.
It's been a minute since I've had to get up in my courtesan wear, but it would be nice to get about with some folks that know their way around the town. For sure.
Have any of you thought about what college you're going to join after this year? I know it's only the first term, but it's something to think about.
It's bad luck to tell.
I'm sure Prosperine knows. Are you joining the same one as your family?
Sorry, 1 second.
Where did you find food? Oh, are those the cupcakes? Do you like them?
Nice. Good.
So you see Prosperine, and he's been like lost in
Space.
thought. Yeah, lost in space. And then yes, you also see him like absently-mindedly eating a cupcake. Stress eating. And like he finishes like swallowing the cupcake. I had planned to join either Lorehold or Witherbloom, actually. Not 100% sure on which one exactly, but I'm sure I'll figure out here soon.
Which
Is that-
college was your family from?
Beat me to the punch.
Most of my family actually was a part of Lorehold. But my oldest sister, she was part of Witherbloom, and she's the one who suggested it to me. So I don't know. Well, I'll see after weeding out the week to see how it is.
Well,
That's
that
specific.
Sven, when do you finish work again? A
9
curious
PM
look.
Sharp.
Curious look comes over Quintilius's eyes. Well, and are you busy after that, or do you have something on?
He usually talks for roughly about 15 minutes after his shift to be polite, but then he usually takes off after that.
So at
This
9:15,
is
are you
correct.
free, or?
Slightly disturbing. I believe I am available.
You have the meeting with Plarg.
I believe I have a meeting.
Oh,
Yeah, we're all actually kind of busy together, collectively meeting together, room meeting together, dorm things.
Oh,
Yep.
that's a shame. Quintilius says, looking a bit
Yeah.
crestfallen. Well,
Sorry.
you were taking up rather a large amount of my time this morning with all this chatter. I can't keep on answering all these questions, but you just see Kudoris and Grayson both just face palm. But I just thought if you wanted to keep on asking me all these questions, you could, I don't know, check out the dorm as you were hoping to later. But if you're busy, I mean, another day, I suppose. Maybe after the exam tomorrow.
Yeah, as long as
That sounds
nothing,
lovely.
nothing weird happens.
Well, I'll see how free I am, but I'll let you know.
Yes, you do that, Quintilius. I'll let you know what Drashmir says. Thank you.
Would you, darling? Thank you.
Bye.
I'll make sure that the tickets are at the student shop as soon as possible. Bye, darlings, he says, and gestures. He crooks a finger to the furniture, which begins to shuffle back in to the dorm room.
Bye, Queen.
What? What was that?
Hmm?
What? I just.
You mean the
I don't-
furniture moved again?
Yeah. Why couldn't he have done that the first time?
I'm pretty sure he applied the same spell to them over the course of a year, or that's just what they made it a magic item, Aogan. They're probably owned by the school, and he's borrowing them or renting them. Or Quintilius is a very powerful magic user.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the former on this one. I think.
School
Also,
property.
you never answered my question on. Did anyone answer my question on what yodeling is? I got lost. Still thinking about it. Yodeling. What a weird word.
Yes,
Yodel.
Quintilius said something about alpine singing to
Oh yeah. Then he asked
the
if I was gonna
mountains,
do it in
animals.
a talent show, and then he wanted me to talk to a cow, and no.
You
yeah.
should. I liked that part. You should talk to a cow.
Show off your gardening skills.
If you can somehow, I don't know, right before you take a long, solid,
Long-
deep sleep,
nap,
maybe one
yeah.
time could you just meditate on cows could you count cows as you go to sleep?
I
Yeah,
wouldn't try and decipher what Quintilius is saying too much, Kudoris says, as he's getting ready to leave. And he says, Quintilius was, I think, referring to Dresimir as a cow, with Dresimir being a minotaur. Quintilius doesn't like Dresimir at all.
So he's
Does he really
nice
not?
and has a soft nose.
Yeah, I think that's a way to describe Dresimir.
Well, then it's kind of a compliment. I don't know why anyone would be offended by being called a cow.
Exactly.
Just
Maybe it's a
super
Minotaur
innocent
thing.
little owl.
I'm not gonna call this man a cow. I would never call. Well, I'm sorry. I get. Draverax. Do people call you an elephant ever? Or-
Yes, all the time.
Okay. People call you a bird or an owl? A lot. Owlin, it's right in the name, I guess.
Well, I am mostly a barn owl. Is what we get called, and
Sure.
burb is kind of a colloquial term that's used. But other than that,
Oh, bird.
burb.
I have to answer. Oh, I never answered Quintilius' question. He asked me what happens when I die. Anyway.
What does happen? Do you ever?
No.
You always seem to come back.
Miraculous, isn't it?
Beat me to it, spirit.
Sweats. Honestly, it's not in my plan. I actually don't like the idea of dying. It's very not fun. To me, I don't know what would happen to me. I'm not a common. There's not a lot of us. There's not a lot of Dampiers. We're kind of anomalous. A lot of people who are in the vampiric life cycle style he seems really like uncomfortable. He's like, honestly, can we come back to this some other time, maybe?
Well,
I mean, you're the only one I've ever met, so
Yeah,
aren't-
it's a lot to get into right now.
gosh, aren't you the little Lord Undying? Sven, I gotta go sort out
Bless.
some things, but if you're free tomorrow, then I would like to have I don't know, catch up or something. Oh no, we said we. Oh, but you're at work. Oh no, that's before your shift. Okay, yeah, I'll see you at the LARPing thing.
All right, that sounds good.
He
Nice.
knows the word of our God.
And Grayson starts heading out. I gotta go too. Gotta start my lessons. See you folks later.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow,
luck.
Kadoras.
Okay, toodles.
Bye.
But he gets a thumbs up.
And then it's just the
My universal.
just Trunk
All right.
Gang left. on
Now
the
that it's just
parkway.
Trunk Gang, I'll literally tell you right now. Now that it's just us. All right. Whew. I like that kid. He's a nice guy. It's like, keep it tight.
Build 'em tall.
If
build 'em thick.
I died, I would want you guys to tell my family as soon as possible. That's what I would want to happen. That's what would happen. Okay. If I died, you guys would have a very long and hard conversation with my mom and my dad. And I would want you guys to be the ones to tell them, preferably. Because I feel like you guys know me the best here at the school, and you guys would be the best to witness it. But don't lie to them. Tell them exactly what happened, how it happened. If you can get really detailed, it's okay. They can handle it. He's like kind of like seeming to tear up and almost cry. But I don't want to die. I got so close back there.
Mhm.
Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. He hides in his cloak.
well, I mean, I don't think any of us really want to. So, we've made it out of everything so far, and we're not planning on letting you go anytime soon. But chances are, if you die, we're all dead. Not gonna lie.
Prospering places his hand on his shoulder. Trunk Gang doesn't fail.
Or
Nobody
die. We
dies.
just-
People
Nobody
get
left
hurt.
behind.
Nobody left behind. We definitely will get hurt. Like that's gonna happen. But we'll overcome all situations.
Sven also walks over and puts his hand on Seymour's shoulder and says, "What kind of shipping would you like us to use for sending your things back to your family?"
It's really convenient and cost effective, Sven. It's just
Understood.
my bed. It's just
Understood.
Thank you. My bed will do just fine. If you look at my desk, it comes with a silver lock.
Thomas, Seymour should totally say what I just messaged.
He does stick his arms. He leaves his cloak. Like he's out of his cloak again. He can't hide from you guys. You guys are too nice and affectionate to him. He can't hide from you. He accepts everything, and fully wipes his face away.
So, with the
I
rest of
think
the
I
day,
do- well,
go on.
Sorry. I do owe it to you all. I really do. And I'm sorry that I scoff and I'm rude and I can be really snippy. And maybe I do owe it some sort of divine power who's watching over me and us. But I think there actually might be some merit into looking into the forces that could be targeting us. I have a... There are people who actually might be trying to get at me, guys. and they could be they might be accidentally hurting you. If something ever happened like that, like, I'm sorry. Because it happened once when I was really, really, really young. And they hurt my mom. Pretty bad. Nothing like that's happened yet. Not obviously, at least. Usually it's our classmates doing something amok. So, it's been fine. And that's good. That's a good reason for us to, like, get involved and be hurt, you know?
I really like it if people would stop, like, doing that.
Experimenting with deadly magic and then letting it out into the wild. Yeah.
You know,
Great.
We could do without that.
we should do more group ups. Like, if you're just experimenting, ask your classmates to join you, I think, would be a good, safe way to manage it. We should just do more group things, stop independently running about, right? And we've decided we shouldn't run off alone. that's the theme, the motif.
Buddy system. Always have a friend.
I gotta get off the ground. I'm sorry. he finally stands up.
All right.
He was like eye level with Aegon on the floor.
Absolutely. Yeah, he full cannonballed in on himself. I bottled that up for a long time.
It's okay.
Maybe don't. Maybe tonight's not a good night to hang out. Just between you and me, but it might not be delicious.
No, I have to study. Remember, I'm too busy.
Right. Yep. Too busy. Yep. That
you
want to
study over? If anyone wants to study overnight, I'm available. But yeah, I might just go hang out with you, Sven. If that's cool. We can double check notes between you refilling my drink.
Yes, I think
I'll just follow you.
The tavern will be pretty calm tonight, considering that there are exams tomorrow.
Yeah, I already missed the brunch rush.
We could do a little study session all together after we meet with Plarg, or I guess before,
Yes.
if we're meeting after. Before we meet with Plarg.
Are there
What time is that
seeds?
meeting?
There will be seeds.
Yes. Sorry, guys. I'm real hungry, and I've got a massive headache. And
You're okay.
How's my son?
Trying to get me to jump into him. Anywho's, should we we could get to our extracurriculars? Did we still need to pick up to go to the store, or is that done?
Yeah. I need to head to the shop.
Let's
This
go.
nice. As we work out what we're going to do next, let's take a 10-minute break here and come back at 48 minutes past. What I will say is obviously the scene with the shop we can keep and just say that we did that, and then we'll work out what the extracurricular is. But yeah, Prosperine, you got 50 gold pieces for helping discover the ruin, and then obviously all of you pick up your tickets to the Ice Palace, and whatever else you had, we'll just keep obviously what we did last session with the picking up wages and all that kind of stuff. If there's anything else you wanted from the shop, then go for it. Have a think where you're going to go after the shop when we get back.
Okay, bye.
Okay.
All right. See you in 10.
This is a curriculum of chaos. We should probably stick together.
Fair.
So
I like the idea that we've all. Sorry, go ahead.
you all end up, for one reason or another, at the stadium. Prospering, you're there with the Dragon and Chess Club, working out to see if there's anything that the tactics of the different sports teams can teach you about Dragon Chess. I'm making notes now, and also trying to help out the different coaches of the sports teams with more tactical, it's like applied Dragon Chess. This is what today's sort of
Yeah.
I don't want to say adventure, but you know what I mean. This is what the slant is of today's extracurricular.
I like that though.
As he's there with, I mean, he's probably like with Talana talking about everything. He asks her, and he's like out of character. I'm gonna try to utilize the boon that I have with her, which is she analyzes the problem and gives me helpful solution that you hadn't considered.
That's right.
I don't know if I've ever gone into detail about and like he gestures to himself, my appearance. But it was due to a curse. And I'm sure you've heard about the Trump gang being into all sorts of things, and we seem to kind of be the only ones. Do you think it's possible for a curse to expand from a singular object into the environment?
She looks at you thoughtfully. There's a hint of something else in her eyes, but you'd have to make an insight check to work that out. But
honestly, he would not make that. He's more concerned about what her answer is.
Fair enough. Then she looks over, and as Aurora is demonstrating how she kills weeds to Aegon and the rest of the horticulture club on the football field, she says, do you see how Aurora's magic is able to concentrate itself on either just a singular weed or an entire clump and spread?
Yes.
I imagine that to some degree there is the ability to have a curse spread from one target to others and cause a bigger and greater effect. However, I don't think that whatever issue you're referring to of your own is something that can be moved to other people. Generally, curses have parameters, and your family is unaffected, correct?
As far as I know, yeah.
Then surely if it was something that could spread, it would have done so far before you came to Strixhaven.
Prospering like his face changes into like that he thinks for a second, and then like the light bulb goes off, and he's like, you know what, that definitely makes sense. I had not I had not thought about that. I've definitely been around my family much longer than I've been around anybody here.
I mean, more importantly, surely one of the teachers would have noticed something going on about it, right? I mean, they're all magically gifted and here to look after the students. I don't know, has any professor taken a special interest in you recently?
No, not me specifically. I mean, I think the trunk gang overall has gotten some unwanted attention, but I don't think anybody's particularly
Unwanted?
interested in me. Yeah, I mean, I think at this point we're seen as kind of troublemakers. So I would have to say that's probably unwanted attention rather than positive positive attention. Even if we've so far come out relatively unscathed. At least we're all alive and still have all of our limbs.
I mean, that's one way of taking the phrase "look on the bright side" and putting your own spin on it, I suppose. Having all your limbs, she says, giving you a sly smile. You've been really worrying about this, haven't you?
Yeah, honestly, it's from what I understand and from what I've researched, the magic that was done to me was at the very core of what makes my being. I mean, I used to be an elf, like full-fledged, and this has changed me into something not that. And so it's a powerful magic that I am afraid, for the most part, am afraid that it could affect others, or even affect me even more, or cause me to do something I don't want to do.
You spend an awful lot of time, from what I've analysed, trying to be the best at everything. I think maybe something better than that would be to, instead of trying to be the best at everything, just try to be someone else instead, in a, I don't know, a limited or focused manner. Maybe something like something more performative, like LARPing, or even just taking part in the talent show next semester. Or trying something out at the, well, you mentioned you're going to the Ice Palace, right? Trying something out you wouldn't usually, like, I don't know, the yodeling or something. Maybe you should start looking at what the rest of the trunk gang do and, I don't know, letting your hair down a bit. You always seem so focused and challenging yourself. It sounds exhausting, and then worrying about this on top. At some point, regardless of what happened to you, and I'm sure it was awful and the ramifications of it you're still going through, and it's important that obviously you work out what you need to, I guess, find a cure or a way to break the curse, but in the meantime, it shouldn't stop you living.
I know it's good to get out of your comfort zone. And I will take that with consideration. I'm not sure if I'm up to the task of doing something like yodeling, but I think it's sound advice. It anyways, and like he composes himself, and like he looks at her and smiles with kind of this like breath of fresh air about him. I mean, it's only been a short amount of time since things have transpired since that morning, but that was a pretty heavy weight on him as he thought about those ramifications. And he looks at her and smiles and says, Talana, I truly appreciate your advice there. That was a weight has been lifted off that didn't need to be there. I didn't need something else to be there with school and everything else. You are a truly great friend and individual. And he will attempt to place his hand on hers as he's saying that.
Good. Stop. Yes. Yes.
Roll me a just flat charisma.
Oh, buddy.
Good luck.
Don't fail me now,
Yes, that's the
strongest
best.
stat. Oh, just straight
Could
charisma.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Spend inspiration if you wanted.
You assume I have inspiration.
Benji's being stingy again, I see.
Oh yeah, because I don't give it out enough.
Weird. I have some.
Hey.
Hey.
Nice. She lets you and she accepts it and she looks at you smiling and she says, I hope you start to let other people see what I do.
Bow, 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 Trunk gang.
I just imagine like the rest of the guys like and just seeing this, the rest of the gang seeing this and being just standing there and starting going like tiny little claps like yay.
Can petals start falling just ever so slightly in the background?
Mm-hmm. As
Melithorn makes them because we're practicing.
as you're standing watching this happen, Seymour, Seymour, look at ball, no ball, and then Prosperine, I'm gonna need you to roll me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh bro, no.
Gotta hit him with that embarrassing moment of getting whacked in the head with a ball.
Uh-huh.
Pretty
Oh,
close.
that was only a 3, and then it went to a 19. Nice. You managed to deftly pull Talana out the path of the silk ball, and there's one of those moments where you both dive to the floor, and it's that classic movie scene of the
I love it.
like she's on top of you, and then there's that moment where the camera lingers, and all of a sudden a sweaty Jabanesh comes over and says, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Gosh, look, let me help you up. Seymour, you were supposed to catch that one.
You're right. I don't know what to say. You're right. That was my job that time. Sorry.
And then Javanesh like takes the ball back over to you, Seymour, and says, "What's on your mind recently? I heard about the ruins you went to. That sounded rough."
Yeah, the ruins? They were crazy.
Are you feeling okay now? Are you sure you should be at practice so soon?
I'm a little nervous about exam tomorrow, but yeah, I'm trying my best to focus. Kind of like looks at him, notices he notices that there were hand touch happening. He gives Talana and Prostrine like a very polite like sorry about that nod as he does to accept the ball from Jav. I guess I feel like I don't know. I feel like there's just been a lot going around campus, a lot happening all the time. But
What do you mean?
kind of like looks at like Jav. He's just like, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes things can get to you, and you feel like you have to get an edge or something. He makes sure that he's away from the rest of the group when he's like, come over here. He's like, I actually been wanting to talk to you for a minute about something. Can I ask you something?
Talk to me?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
You're technically a second year.
Yes.
But according to record, I am Snoopy a little bit. Been at the school a little bit longer than some of the other students that are of the same year as you. But there's nothing about like an actual like official holdback or and I don't have access to certain things, but I don't know, bit of a rumor going around. Just wanted to ask you about it. I don't know, I feel like people are trying to throw the book at me sometimes. So I was hoping that you could maybe, if you're cool with talking about that, you want to share? That's what's on my mind. I don't want to get in trouble, but also I'm there's some dangerous stuff that was down inside those temples. So I'm looking to go back, but I don't want to be in trouble. So no, I'm trying to learn.
You're not entirely wrong, and you're not entirely right. Are you sure that... I don't know, man. This is a bit of a... You're not going to tell anyone, are you? I don't want this to get around too much.
Is there anyone specifically you wouldn't want me to tell? He says, is it okay if I might mention it to... I won't mention it to anyone, but saying not to. Thank you for specifying.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
He's really honest with him, but alright. But Seymour is not naturally like the most convincing person. So here we go. Swing for the fence.
Oh, she's purring.
I don't know why I rolled disadvantage.
Did you use your inspiration?
Let's do it, actually, yes. Let's use the inspiration.
Okay. I have been at Strixhaven for longer than the 2 school years, but I was never a student here before. I came here on probation. Some things were happening back home, and I had to either choose between this or well, it was he thinks for a moment. He says, let me just get up his thing. Where are you?
Seymour kind of like sees that he is like kind of like uncertain, and he breaks eye contact to like make him more comfortable, and begins to just simply adjust his socks and
Mhm.
like lace up his like boot about him. He's not rushing him at all.
It was. It was actually Plark who made the deal. I don't know how he found out about me, but I'd been snooping in places I shouldn't out in the Vastlands, and I was supposed to do some time for my activities, let's say. And Plark offered instead, seeing as I had such an inquisitive mind, that I could work here at Strixhaven, or instead of doing any jail time. I mean, I wasn't going to say no to that offer. I was also then able to get a scholarship here. But
Oh.
with a history like mine, I don't really want the other students thinking that I'm... There is more to it than that, and there was a bit of violence involved. I don't want anybody being scared of me or treating me any differently, so...
Can respect that. Sure. When haven't people had to be a little rough? You probably had to defend yourself, right?
No, he says flatly.
Oh. Seymour kind of pauses and looks around a little bit, like he actually wasn't expecting that.
As you pause and look around, you see a troop of people heading towards where you and Javanesh are standing. Leading at the front of them
Is that the
is
LARP team?
Aurora, and she just says,
He's not.
"Move, Skelly Bones," and she like starts to like desiccate and wither a bunch of the weeds kind of like around you.
Hey!
And all of a sudden, like, she's like starts to corrupt the already corrupted leather of your shoes. Go ahead and roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Not my drip, no.
Haha. Why are you rolling
Wait,
with
this isn't a
advantage?
dex check. I'm sorry. I don't know why.
Stop. Okay, whatever.
One.
You
That's
rolled.
just a dex check. That wasn't a dex. It's the same. It's the same.
That's fine. I mean, you rolled crap both times. So I'm gonna give you a crap result anyway.
No.
you
Why, Aurora? Why?
by moving out, by moving like your feet away from her magic, you inadvertently trip yourself up, and Aurora and like Aegon and the rest of the horticulture club, all of a sudden are just sort of like standing over you, and Aurora says, "God, you're such an
High level, really.
embarrassment."
You're right.
Cousin, can you just get up? I'm trying to do my work here and teach this lad how I'm supposed to de-weed the field.
You okay, buddy? Aegon says, like, at your face level.
Yeah, I could use a wing.
Yeah, sure. I'll help you up. Just nudges Seymour to get up.
He uses you.
Aurora continues to walk, but all of a sudden Aurora trips over as a vine seems to pop up out of nowhere and grip onto her shoe. As this happens, Melithorn gives you a subtle wink.
Oh, okay. Are my shoes just trashed now? What do you think, Mel? He like starts to unlace. He's like, I'll play barefoot. I don't mind.
I need some new accents. I'm gonna like change up people's voices. I can't remember what Mel was before.
Just super
Yeah.
grumpy. Just deep and super grumpy.
Have you been doing something with your woodworking, Mel? You got your voice is kind of timbred up a little bit.
I just thought Yes, just can move out with one. I just thought, I think your shoes are alright. They stink a bit.
That's what most people tell me. They must be bad if people are mentioning it. He seems to start actually. I might just call it a day on these. I don't think I'll have these much longer.
I thought you said you could get them fixed when you found him.
I was hoping that Drevrax would have done it by now, but he like he just sits on his butt and starts taking them off. He's like, they give me they're real good in the turf, like they're real good. He says, but he begins to tie the laces together. Sometimes you have to retire them. And I'd like to. It's a silk ball pull, right? There's
Nice.
a pole involved.
Yes.
All right. I'd like to begin to climb the pole. Just walking up it.
Okay.
As I've described before, much like it looks like I'm kind of climbing up on a chair or a table. I place my toes and then my heel flatly on the pole, and then my back is straight to the ground, and I just begin to walk up it. And then Seymour ties his old shoes to the top of the pole.
Oh dear.
And then he fireman slides down it. It looks fun.
Drevrax, what's Seymour doing? Xantha asks.
Oh, he does that sometimes. He can walk on walls and ceilings and the like. Just naturally, I guess.
Wow, that's amazing. Can you do things like that?
No, I cannot. Could you imagine this? He points at all 7 foot something of him hanging from a ceiling.
I don't know. You seem to be able to do a lot of moves that we can't do because of your trunk and stuff. You're quite skilled.
The trunk is useful. But no, that is specific to Seymour, and I think his whole family can do it.
Yeah, actually, yeah, we all can. No.
So yeah, he just does that.
Hey, let me know
You
if
get
you
used
ever
to
want to
it.
do it. You want to try it?
You're not here.
Are you on a private little like bleacher? Are you hiding under the bleachers?
We're in our own practice.
I mean, yeah, they're on the
on
like.
the side of the field.
They're all on the side of the field, but it's a big field.
Okay, but they can see me way over there up on the pole. I got you.
Are they within Druidcraft range, though?
I mean, probably.
Oh,
Interesting.
Druidcraft is OP, as we know.
Yeah. Where's the range of Druidcraft?
I don't know if it's 30 or 60. I can't remember.
Double if you have spell somewhere.
30 feet.
Pretty good.
What did you want to do with Druidcraft?
Oh, no, it's just any sort of like just intimate moment between Drevrax and Xanther. There's gonna be rose petals just
Nice.
gently falling around them.
Nice.
So anime.
I know.
A true,
Sugoi.
a true friend.
I didn't mean to. Well, I didn't know what to do yesterday. I tried to call on you, but none of you answered when I knocked on your dormitory. I heard that you got into quite a bit of trouble with the exam, and a few of you got hurt. I came to see you, and when I saw that none of you were coming out, I assumed you were just sleeping it off. So I tried to organize sort of a I don't know, a collection or something. I don't know what you call it, but you get things together. Did you get the gifts? I got you a teddy.
I saw Xanther, and thank you. It was really nice. Actually, probably when you came by, we had gone over to Dapplewing.
Wait,
I
you
thought-
went there?
Yeah, we were gonna meet up, and I didn't want to leave you there, so I
I
went on ahead.
he like goes, his like flames reduce, like the flames in his hair just all of a sudden like almost reduce just to embers, and he goes like a shade paler. I heard you nearly died. I didn't think you'd be out and about going to Dapplewing. Why are you going to Dapplewing? Are you okay? Are you in trouble? Do you need money?
Oh my God, Santher, no.
Yes.
um, we're fine.
I heard Dapplewing got broken into yesterday. Or there was a
Well,
kerfuffle there or something, or
There was definitely a kerfuffle. But the story, Santher, is that we were passing by and went to and heard all of the ruckus. So then we helped the Earl out, dispose of some fire drake snake things.
God, you always seem to be getting up to something.
Well, we didn't think anything like that would be in there. Granted that this is a school, but regardless, we're okay. And the rough part was at the ruins. I don't know, we slept it off, and I knew we were running out of time. I wanted to do the thing. I wanted to impress everyone. I wanted to impress you.
Go ahead and roll me a charisma check.
Wait, persuasion or
Charisma.
check? No, Benji.
I don't think you're trying to persuade anything, but it's okay because
With
it's not.
advantage
It's
with those
not.
rose petals.
It's not
Thank
about.
you.
It's not about your ability here. This is just helping me move scenes or something.
Okay, ability check. Okay.
Nice.
we'll
You
take the-
already impressed me. I don't know why you'd need to go to Dapplewing for some stupid bet to do that. I wanted to do it to impress you. I'm always so timid about things. I mean, you're the reason I'm do Cheer Squad in the first place anyway. I like talking to people, sure, and so everyone thinks I'm confident or vibrant or something, but I don't really know how to make friends properly, and well, everyone knows me, but no, I don't know. I'm not close with anyone, you know. I'm friends with everyone, but I'm not best friends with anyone. And I thought maybe by doing
do you mean?
Dapplewing or something, or at least being there, then people would think I'm worth talking to a bit more.
Well, I think you're great at making friends, Santher, and I don't know, what you mean by not having anyone you're really close to, or things like that. Driver X he clams up and gets really started choking up a little bit. So I like being around you. I feel like we're close. If you know, you can talk to anyone, I feel like you can talk to me.
The flames in his hair grow again, and a big smile comes over his face. And then all of a sudden he starts to look around, and there's just these rose petals falling, and he's. Are you doing this?
Absolutely not.
Oh God, here she comes! And all of a sudden he almost frightened. He pulls back, and Aurora is just look over your shoulder, and Aurora is just like glaring at Xantha, and like directly starts like killing the weeds all around your feet. kind of all of a sudden you have to like sort of like, you know, the thing where like,
Very pervasive.
you know, when people like shoot in films, they like shoot to make somebody dance. It's like that, but with like decaying plant life around your feet, and all of a sudden you gotta like sort of like hop from one foot to the other, move it or lose it.
Excuse me, could you not?
And then you again, you just hear as this is happening, Esmatalk say, so I don't know what Esmatalk's voice was like. So as you can see, I think it was this.
Yeah.
It's a very effective way of getting all the weeds, as long as you've got the skill and accuracy you need.
Clearly pretty effective at getting people to move too. My goodness.
Yeah, Aurora's got a knack for that. She can move people with her music, and she can move people with, you know, threatening to decay their feet off.
Quite a spectrum. Very, very talented.
I hear your group's been moving around a lot recently. Eudora, when I went to see how, not Eudora, what's her name? Eurelda?
Yeah.
No,
No,
it is
it's
Eudora.
Eudora.
It is Eudora. Eudora was talking about how she saw you all last night when I went to get some seeds.
Steeds. Yeah. I mean, I was just hanging out as, you know, night owl things, and everyone else was just taking a bit of a stroll, and we happened upon her and Steve, I think his name was.
You were just taking a stroll at night?
Well, I mean, I am a bit of a night owl.
Roll me a deception check, please.
Why?
She's an owl.
I am an owl. It's the truth.
Yeah, the walking bit's not.
That's not terrible.
Well, that's nearly a nat 20 as well. Okay. It just says,
I'll take it.
you know, if your group is in trouble or something, you can, well, I'm sure you got friends, and you can always talk to me. You were inquiring earlier in the term about some black goop.
Yeah, it had been around for a while. I can't say that we've seen any recently, but yeah, I thought maybe you'd be the smartest guy to ask.
Well,
given it, but...
I thought about it recently, because well, Melwithorn came up to me and started inquiring about a black mold, and if I knew anything
Really?
about it. Yeah,
Interesting.
I don't know if you want to talk to him about that, but
Well, I'm not particularly close with Melwithorn. What about the black mold? Was there anything interesting?
I hate him, so I didn't really listen.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
He's a
Gosh,
shit.
I don't even. Oh well, yeah. No, this is awkward.
Don't you remember the
Yeah.
entangle thing?
Oh yeah, I was in it. I was quite literally
Mhm.
entangled in it.
Wow.
Yeah. I just, yeah, I'd really like to just know, but I don't know if he'd actually talk to me. I don't even think he knows my name, to be honest.
Yeah, knocks his head and makes like a hollow wood sound. What do you expect?
Okay. Well, thanks for letting me know that he had at least asked about it. But yeah, I guess I'll keep you in mind for any sort of future endeavors. I appreciate you extending that offer.
Um,
Man, he's really bullying him.
And then you see Esmatok narrow his eyes, like almost at you for a moment, but then he just says, "What is that?" And as you look over your shoulder, Aegon, you see quite the sight. There is about, like, it looks like there is a ball with lots of eye stalks and lots of eyeballs moving across the field.
What?
What is that?
No, don't.
Is that supposed to be a tiny beholder?
Oh God, I hope not. I was reading about those the other day, and no one wants that.
And all of a sudden from the beholder, you just hear, "Fear me! I am the evil villain! I will destroy you!"
Oh no.
Sound better this time.
And at this, Grayson leans over to Sven and says, "So yeah,
Sven is tending to the dog 1 second.
oh, fair.
Sven is returning hastily.
Hello.
Sven has arrived.
So Sven, you're both looking at Rosie move across the field in a beholder costume, shouting out how she's the villain and she's going to kill everyone. It's a very zippy, fast, 3 foot tall beholder, and seems to be doing quite a lot of damage to the LARPing group and LARP guild. And Grayson just like leans over to you and says, "So as you can see, they're now implementing some of the what did Kidoras call them again? Character sheets that we've come up with. This is the first step in having them make their characters, develop them, as they kind of go through this campaign that we've sorted out. I think Quintilius is having a hand in writing this. They're able to level up their characters when they get to certain milestones, and depending on how well they do in combat and kind of what secrets they unlock and uncover, they are able to gain like levels, which allow them to gain their abilities, and it's just this whole sort of complex thing. But I think we could really package this and turn it into something."
It definitely seems interesting, and if you think that it's a good business model, then I'd be interested in assisting.
Well, I mean, that's what I was sort of hoping where you'd come in. I don't know if you've got an interest, but it's kind of daft. But there's this talent show next term, and I was wondering what you were thinking of doing for it, if you were thinking of joining at all.
I don't know that I don't know that I have any talents.
Well, you see, if I could get the winner of the talent show to, I don't know, show off this thing, it's a lot of eyes in one place. It's a good kind of place to showcase something like this. It's performative, you know. I mean, obviously, I hope Quintilius wins. That'd be great for him. But you saw after today that there's some teething difficulties that he's got with his performance still. I thought that maybe if Trunk Gang were going to perform, then, well, if you were interested in if you or one of your friends were to win, maybe they could get the ball rolling. We could get some more playtesters with the kind of influence or interest that y'all could provide.
I don't want to be an influencer.
I mean,
I do. So, are you asking if I would like to assist you with creating the game for the talent show, or if I would like to get Trunk Gang to be spokespeople for.
I mean, either or. What do you want to do?
I think that what I had planned on doing was creating small figurines for the game.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, that'd be great. I still want that. Just if we're gonna get people, we need we need an audience to buy these figurines. So if we can get the word out about it at the festival, I thought that would be a good way to start the ball rolling. But making those figurines would be the kind of that's the thing we can showcase, to people. We could have a stand there, and if the winner of the talent show brings attention to it, all of a sudden there's a lot of exposure for us. I'm just trying to think out the box here on possibilities.
Yeah, I believe that would be good marketing for our business venture, and I will definitely talk to the rest of the group about it. In the meantime, I will make some figurines for. What are we calling it again?
I mean, there's a game that they play called Beholders and Behearers. We could just call it that. Beholders and Behearers, the tabletop game, because it's like a more condensed version. You don't need to play it on an open field.
That definitely does sound fun.
Are you allowed to do this kind of thing, by the way? I don't know what your limitations are with the. What was the company you come from again?
Oh, DeepMind. No, I have no. I have no non-compete agreement with them.
Okay. I can't tell if you're an employee or they're like your parents, or how does that work out?
They are. It might
Seems
be
like a
most
conflict
accurate.
of interest.
Well, as long as we aren't doing any speculative mining. Are we doing any speculative mining?
No, yeah, I guess not. No.
Then no problem.
Okay.
It would be accurate to describe them as my sponsors. I do have a contract with them, but it is. I don't have to do anything other than be a student while I'm here.
And I heard that you had some trouble at the with the lore hold exam. How are you feeling after that?
We had some tactical missteps during the exam, and some of our planning did not bear out, but I believe that our after action report was useful, and it will lead to more successful missions in the future.
Missions? Nice.
Well, I guess that's that might be a colloquial term from growing up in the mines. I don't know if it's as appropriate here, but it's how I tend to refer to projects.
And he begins to like dust himself off and says, well, that's all I wanted to talk about for now. Is there anything you wanted to ask me?
Which characters would you like to be produced first?
Oh, good question. And then go ahead and roll me like a tinker check or something to see like how easy or hard it would be to make these the specifications he's giving.
Shit. There, found it.
And I think if you click in chat, use Tinker's tools. Nice. You think that the kind of things he's asking, like the simple poses, as long as, like he's saying for the first run, maybe like you don't focus on the weapons and whatever too much, even just busts of characters might do. You actually think there's going to be a high profit margin in these kinds of things, and it could be like a really nice side business. He wonders as well if there's a possibility for making things like dice and maybe even dice bags, but he worries that, you know, he doesn't know of a tailor or anything.
I believe I may know someone who can help us with that. The
Oh.
dice certainly will be within my wheelhouse, as the kids are saying.
They need to
But-
be you know, truly random, as random as you can get it, so evenly weighted and good flat surfaces on each side.
Oh, rest assured, I may speak common, but precision is my language.
Nice, Sven. Okay, that sounds awesome.
I'll get to work on these right away.
Thanks.
I'll have some prototypes for you shortly.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that would be awesome. If we could get the LARPing Guild to practice with some of those, and then if we get it all set up, we could probably start selling them by the talent show if we get a good enough audience for it. Does that sound good?
That is excellent, and I will talk to Draverax about some small pouches.
Oh, maybe if we get them done by the Ice Palace. I know that's kind of short notice, but just at least some prototypes, we could have a few games there, and maybe if some of the old alumni or even faculty see what we're doing, it might interest them and get word out that way about it. I mean, adults probably play these games too, right? I mean, I know we're adults, but well, how old are you?
My Warforged aren't really... It's not really the same scale. I think it's fair to say that I have fewer experiences but more memories than my age would suggest.
Okay. Sure. But yeah, I think they'd be into it. He says, like, not knowing kind of how to measure that one anymore. So at this point, he kind of like rolls his eyes and says, oh, here they come. And you just see Aurora go past with Aegon in tow, like disintegrating weed after weed after weed. Is there anything else anybody wants to do during the extracurriculars before we get into the study phase?
Not with the extracurriculars, but do we have a chance to take a nap at least?
Oh yeah, sure. After between the
At any
extracurriculars and the you'd be able to do like a
Okay.
short rest.
Excellent. Perfect. Thank you.
Anything else anyone wants to do? Nice. I gave 3-second pause, so that's I'm gonna say that was. So feel free to do a short rest, and then if you need it, and then you all are in the tavern. Sven, obviously you're working, but you've been told by Tulk that he knows you've got an exam tomorrow and like the kind of like rough time you've had recently, so he's letting you off a couple of hours early this evening so that you can get some more studying in and stuff. And it's actually about 7 p.m. when you're coming off work now, and the meeting with Plarg is set to be at 9. which is now before Depthwind closes. So, as you're all studying for the exam, let's have a look. This here.
Dravrax, can you translate that? It's Loxodon, for some reason.
Of course.
So,
Oh, dialect.
in this part of the magical physiologies exam, it's all about looking into different creatures from different planes and different times and periods and all that kind of stuff. And in this one, you are trying to study specifically the Otyughs or Otyughs. I don't know how to describe it. I mean, pronounce it. OTYUGH.
What? OTY?
UGH.
I don't know how to. I also don't know how to approach that. That's
Yeah.
that OTY is odd. Yeah.
Otyugh. So the DC for this is 13. You can describe how each of you are studying, and I'll go from there. So I'm going to start from the top down. So Jess, how is Aegon studying?
Just beak to book. Just
Just
pouring over
reading.
the text. Yeah, just reading, pouring over the text that they have. Also open to studying with anyone.
Are we doing a big group study show?
Yeah, it sounds like it's
yeah,
a group
I'm
study.
yeah, I'm cool with that. So yeah, so just in a book, just chatting with the surrounding folks and asking various questions about different aspects and trying to get like quizzed on things using tiny flashcards.
Nice. So what kind of skill are you wanting for this? Kind of sounds like intelligence, nature, or something.
Sure, I'm good with
Okay.
that. Oh, where'd my character sheet go? Hello. Okay.
And it's because you're studying with people, you can have advantage.
So that was intelligence nature, you said?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Would you like a 15 or a 15?
Yeah.
I mean, there's no doubt you were going to roll high, so. Nice. So you are able to, you pass the DC 13. You feel like your studying is going pretty well. Figo, what about Drovrax? How's Drovrax studying for this?
I think maybe Dravarax is on trying to think about this different ways. I guess Dravarax is kind of on I'll go off of what we were talking about earlier. Same one on translation duty. He knows a fair amount of languages. Or I don't know. I'm trying to think of all kinds of stuff. I think he's helping anything that kind of matches up with older things that they're looking at. I don't know. I have no idea what this has to do, what this exam is about. So it's hard.
Oh, it's just about like these strange animals that live in oh yeah, fair enough.
That's the thing of it. We have all these different reports from various different explorers that are all in these different languages.
Okay.
And I'm like, all I know is Elvish and Draconic. So I
So
appreciate you helping me.
for example, something that Aegon picks out during the study group is that bones and carrion mixed with trash are often a strong sign that an Otyugh is present, as it waits for carrion to ferment before eating its food. And yeah.
Even Sven is grossed out by that.
So think about that kind of creature and what kind of it's just how would you go about studying? So like some people, for example, might use minor illusion to like make an image of the Otyugh and like kind of like I don't know. whilst they're studying and
doused with cold
um,
magic when I did that, so
Yeah.
Treverax thinks about or researches like depictions of that in history, but specifically to do with like religions of
Hmm.
like older religions and how similar rituals may have come about from like viewing this practice in nature and just kind of using religious texts to make those analogies and like cement um it's almost like kind of like making a song to study for something. It's like he is um bringing some other like bringing these texts and tomes and things that are about it and making kind of a anagram
Okay.
like deal with it to help
Give
remember
me
it.
a charisma religion check.
Okay.
Obviously with advantage because you got that group.
Wait, let me change that. Yes. Charisma.
Oh no.
The 8, you saw it roll off of the 18.
It looks like you try and like you get the feeling that this isn't just isn't sticking. You keep on trying to get this thing in your mind, but the kind of effects of like everything you've been through recently, and also maybe like the meeting with Plague later is just weighing on your mind and sort of distracting you, but you don't think it just doesn't feel like it's sticking for you.
the explanation is actually in the chat, so we all know what's going on.
Oh, nice. Yeah, fair. Daydreaming about Xantha. Then Prosperine, how are you studying for this?
I imagine prospering, like reading the material, but then helping the others fill in the gaps that they don't understand. So prospering feels like he's like, I know this. Whether that's 100% true or not, we'll see. But
So what kind of skill is that?
I'm going to say probably looking at the skills here. History?
Okay, go for it. You get advantage. Oh, I mean you passed with that one anyway. Nice.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, you are able to kind of find out through some of the history books that sometimes when people have been looking through, like people have been grave robbing and stuff, they found these shiny treasures glinting from piles of refuse. But unfortunately, those sometimes indicate that an Otyug's presence is about as these aberrations hoard treasures from their victims. And then we've got Thomas. How are you studying for this? How's Seymour doing?
On a floating, Tasha's floating disk, or Tensor's floating disk, piles of parchment, paper, and books, say like floating behind him, as he like walks around the space between everyone's like. I assume we're studying in like our common area, in our rooms.
No. It's the pub, the Bows End Tavern.
But he does it so that everyone else has. It's like an extended desk then for our table.
Got you.
So we have even more room. His eyes are a little like starting to look like just a little. This is not his like prime hour, so he's like his eyes are just a little bloodshot and sunken in. But like as Prosperine makes their way over, his like eyes seem to like flutter to life. As he like staves off a little bit of sleep. He's like, sorry, I was dozing off there. You read folk. Thank you, actually. Perfect. Yes, perfect. Actually, I was already in the right spot. I think Seymour like to answer any like very precise like magic questions if anyone has any, but he's not is like things like this not necessarily his strongest suit.
Are you
he's
trying to like which skill? I just need to know which skill you're kind of like
I'd
hoping
like
to
to
revise
make-
with.
probably. Boy, I took some weird proficiencies.
Do you have Arcana?
I do have Arcana.
Then maybe
I
you're
do
trying to
have
like look into how spellcasters treat Otyughs and different like weaknesses that they have or strengths or what they're used for.
I'd like to maybe find like a medical journal, not make a medicine, but I'd like to find like a medical journal that maybe mention like some spells that didn't work especially well, and
Okay.
ones that would be good.
Go for it. Go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
Sven would probably want to know this in particular as well. I don't know why I'm gonna roll with advantage again. Sorry.
I also love that you're using D&D Beyond to roll
Side
as
eye.
well.
Yeah.
Um,
How do you know that? Wait.
because it doesn't actually tell me the like it gives me the like result in tiny letters, so that's why I'd prefer if you rolled in the game, because it says 13 but then below your portrait it says in tiny like numbers like 18. I don't know, just it's a bit clunkier for me, but I guess it's not the end of the world. You find out that some spellcasters use Otyughs as guardians, both to protect their underground layers and to dispose of their enemies. And then last but not least, we have Sven. How is Sven studying?
So in between bartending.
No, remember you got let off work early, 2 hours early. Unless you want to
Okay.
do this, but
Link provided in the Discord.
nice.
So Sven,
Hey,
what Sven is
these are
focusing
an
on.
underground. Sorry, this is an underground species that we're dealing with. Welcome back.
So what Sven is focusing on, well, he's kind of like listening to everybody else talk about the specific parts that they're studying. Sven is trying to deduce what the actual questions could be based on the course up until now and what the professor seems to be focusing on, their teaching style, and any like practice tests they might have given.
Okay.
What kind of questions are they going to ask? And so I would propose that would be an investigation check.
Yeah, go for it. Nice. Yep, you are able to kind of work out a few questions. You know that one of them specifically is going to be on how Otyughs are considered. Anyone who deals with Otyughs are mostly considered like evil and stuff, and there's like a lot of questions on the type of people that use Otyughs and like historically what they've been used for and stuff. And it's things like people who wish to congregate far from prying eyes and who operate underground, knowing that the authorities would avoid the stench and trash filled undercrofts and sewers, sort of employ Otyughs either passively or actively to make sidekicks for them and use their lairs as like deterrents so they can have meetings in foul locations.
Seymour, I think you were really onto something with the magical uses of these creatures.
I think there's something to that, really. He flips back through his like old notes.
I certainly think that it will be on the test.
I was
based
just
on
like, sorry, go on.
Based on our previous experiences in the classroom.
So it said like Otyugh.
It's like ocho.
Ocho. Okay.
Yeah, that's. I
How's-
mean,
how-
that's how I've heard it.
How's it spelled
and
again?
It's. I put it in the chat, so you can see it there. And then
Oh.
it's a derivative from the Japanese monster ocho. So, and people say that it's technically pronounced nearly the same. So, the TYU is just a vocal fricative or whatever. Yeah.
Horrifying. Okay.
Yeah, it's not great.
Let me just look up history. Ooh, I love these little very huggable. Hmm.
Yeah, they want to hug you for sure.
Very
100%.
huggable.
They're like definitely allergic to owls, right?
So this is based on an actual thing. Yeah,
That's
they're allergic
what-
to owls.
Yeah,
That's what it says.
yeah, they're allergic to owls for sure, 100%.
Nice.
Yeah, it says they take quadruple.
Yeah, it's
I don't know what they mean by this in the
crazy.
text. I don't know what they mean by quadruple damage. That's what it says.
Yeah, 100%. Like I think I just inflict that much damage because they're so allergic to me.
So when you finally finish studying, it is time probably to meet up with Plarg. Is anyone
like-
not going?
My favorite
Just-
guy.
I just like gently pick up Aogen and like wipe Owl across me.
Nice.
Just like kind of gently feathers like up and down my arms.
Just this tiny little ball in his hands, just like what it was. Sven, I wish it was true, but I think it's a joke.
Oh, I misunderstood. I just like gingerly put Aogen back on the table.
I like shake and floof my feathers back out.
Floof. Nice. Okay. So anything anybody wants to do before you head to Dapplewing Manor to meet with Plarg? Oh, no, that's not what I wanted.
Sure, it isn't.
Ha 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 ha.
A likely
I
story.
would like to long rest.
Mm.
Literally just had that. Piss off.
Are you that tired from the shift?
I would say that I'm at approximately 1/3 of my capacity to expend, like strenuously expend myself magically.
Okay, so as you all head to Dapplewing Manor, you see that the place is like open, and whatever sort of issues that it had had the day before kind of already have seemed to be done away with. There's like no broken glass or burnt bits of wood or anything like that. As you kind of head up to the porch and are waved in by the Earl, you see that the place seems pretty pristine. Welcome, students. It is good to see you again.
Hi, Plarg.
That's the Earl.
I am the Earl. Plarg is in the study. I have been asked to assist you and escort you there.
Okay.
Would you like any refreshments?
Oh, is there anything that's easily available?
I can get almost anything that the kitchens have.
Do the kitchens have synthetic lubricant?
That would be found in the outdoor shed. I can go and get some if you require. I am quite particular to that myself.
Well, I guess if you have a favorite.
I mean, a taste.
Okay, I shall be back soon with some lubricant. And you just see him like toodle off for a moment, and you're kind of left
Fantastic service.
standing there for a hot second before you hear the little wheels The little wheels go off into the distance. There's a moment if you wanted to do anything, and before he comes back.
Are we? Should we be on the Dapplewing Manor map?
Not yet. I'm just
Not yet.
there to the
okay.
minding it.
All right,
Sven,
guys,
just-
we're back. We can just scatter.
I mean,
I would recommend against it.
Oh,
Anybody
hey.
else want some of this lubricant? Anybody?
I didn't see all of you. I didn't know you were supposed to be here. I heard you had a run-in with some of the strange pranks somebody played yesterday. Nora says, coming up to you. I was just finishing up my counseling job here. Are the rest of you all right?
never better.
Were you
Sorry, who?
Nora?
Nora. Oh,
How are you, Nora?
yeah.
Oh, I'm good, thank you. Did any of you need anything? You're not here for counseling, are you? But the hours are over already. But I would be happy to find another time if you're in need. I know you've been through a lot recently.
No, we're here for Plarg. Do you know where he is?
Oh, he's in his office. Yeah, I can go take you to him if you like.
Sure. That would be great. Unless I guess this Earl is gonna take us.
And then you hear the wheels coming back. Oh, the Earl?
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, no, sure. That's fine. I better head home then. I don't want to get into any trouble with more oozes that might sneak about or whatever else. Thanks for that. Sven, the smock apron of acid resistance looks mighty dashing on you.
Oh, thank you very much.
I'm glad to see you're wearing it. Most people laugh when I go around in my art aprons, but I'm glad they've got use for you. And
Indeed, I've found them very useful.
she smiles and waves to you all as she departs. And the Earl comes back and says, "I have returned with your lubricant."
Excellent. And Sven just takes some of the lubricant and just like drinks it. It's just like a thin oil.
Nice. He like briefly talks about what kind of vintage it is and says, "Make sure you take note of the nutty flavors."
Indeed. This is a fine viscosity.
Yes, lots of nuts, very few bolts.
What?
Sven just kind of smacks his lips. I see.
I will take you to Dean Plog now. Please follow.
Very earthy tones in that one,
Minerals.
Metallic, yeah. All mineral.
So you're all taken to the study, and the Earl knocks on a door, and Plug says, "Hey, come in. Oh, right, it's you lot. Hello." And you all file into one of the offices he's taken up for himself. "Oh, good to see you're all back on your feet," he says, and he's like got a bandage over one arm, and there's like some weird sort of like through like around the edges of the bandage where you can see where like the bandage sort of meets his skin. It's got like black sort of necrotic like lines going through his skin, like the veins are sort of darkened and stuff, but otherwise he seems to be relatively okay.
Your small veins seem to be healing up all right. Sorry, just that others are still causing you ill.
Oh no, it's all right. I'll have it all sorted soon. Please. I know there's not. Actually, you know what? Let's follow me a second, and I'm just gonna move you all to where I should have put you before. And
You
you
not
take.
had a chance to rest, sir?
There's a lot to be done, and all I said with Verelder, I'd sort this place out, so we're gonna take a moment to sort this out this evening. And he's gonna put you like you can go wherever you want in this room, but he's just gonna like sort of stand here. I don't know.
Cool.
There's not too much seen here, but at least it's a bit less cramped in the office. Actually, let's go over to that end. There's more seats over there, and he'll like plonk himself here.
Okay.
And you can go, yeah, there you go. Seats there if you need. Where's Seymour got his thing on? He like pulls out a chair for somebody to sit next to him here as well. Right, so what I wanted to say was, and this we're going to take another short break because I need one. So we'll be back in like
Let's do it.
7 minutes, and then have the
Ooh,
plug
lucky
thing.
number.
Have a think about anything you wanted to ask faculty members and the school in general and stuff like that. Like this is going to be not like a serious like telling our conversation at all, but there's going to be some very sort of deep, meaningful questions that Plarg has. And I'm saying this in the meta because I want you to sort of think about what
Headspace.
you want from Strixhaven and from what you think about Strixhaven so far as like a university. I'll be right back. Hello.
Hello.
Bonjour. Hey.
Okay. Do we have Jess? No. Okay. But we've got Figo,
Yes, yes.
Spirit,
Yep.
Thomas,
Hello, hello.
but we don't have Wyatt or Jess yet. Okay.
That's why we check.
So to fill in, Spirit, along with the note of receiving 50 gold. Have you added 50 gold to your sheet, by the way, Spirit?
Yep.
Along with the note of how like you were receiving that, there was also a note from Plug, basically saying, "Can you meet me at Dapwing tomorrow evening? I want to discuss what happened at the ruin and just talk to you about kind of like your futures here at Strixhaven and how we can better support an inquisitive group like you and maybe work towards benefiting your like studies here and stuff like that." But it also seemed that Plug, it gave the impression that Plug knew that you'd all gone to Dapwing as well.
Oh. Yeah.
I can't
Heard
remember.
about that, did you?
Can't remember quite what I said last session. Do we have Jess and White back now?
Yes.
Hi.
Welcome back, guys.
So, thank you for seeing me. I just wanted to get us all together again. It's you know, since the ruin, I wanted to make sure you are all okay. Personally, first, I've heard from the infirmary that you are all patched up okay and stuff, but well, there's more scars than simply the ones we see on the surface, as I'm sure all of you will know to some extent. I thought we might as well do the after action report that Sven, you were keen we maybe didn't finish in the maybe there was a better space for it, as you said, than the rune. So I wanted to make sure you you know, would have that space and we could chat about it. I'm getting a bit of stick for taking a group of first years down into a rune like that, which is understandable. From
Thank you for the opportunity.
you're welcome. From Tullus, the Dean of Order from Lorehold. She believes that things should be played by the book and frowns on students and myself who go on what she calls my dangerous field trips, which, I mean, well, after this one, I certainly can't deny that, can I? But I just like to give folk the ample opportunity to make sure that, you know, we can study the actual history and we can see it for what it is. So, first off, I apologize for putting first years in harm's way, is that something you would want me to say?
I don't think that I would have expected an apology. I think that we were happy for the experience, even if it did turn out to be a little more dangerous than any of us expected.
Is that how
I
the
agree with Sven.
good and the rest of you?
Yeah, I mean, we don't get to see stuff like that anyway, and honestly, seems like danger kind of follows us wherever we go. So
I mean, that's another point I wanted to bring up, but let's focus on the runes first and keep talking about that. Because I admit, I obviously didn't want any of you to get hurt. That is the last thing I'd want. Before I came to be a dean of Lorehold at Strixhaven, and before I even became a professor here at all, I was actually in the business of scouting out talent and making sure that it got into the right places. Sven, even some of the artificers I've worked with, some of the gnome artificers that are now leaders in deep mine industries, for example, are ones that I've worked with in the past and even nudged toward such avenues. And in part, all of yous are applicants that I'd looked into before you even got your welcome letter to the Strixhaven Open Day. I think that each of you are great candidates, and I hope you keep on looking into and investigating things as much as possible. But with the exam still in mind then, now naturally, Tullis wanted me in part to have this meeting as a sort of way to appease her, so I'll come clean with a few things that I need to do in this conversation before we get into the meat of things. First off, I need to say that it is important that when you go on field trips that we focus on sticking together and not splitting up as much as we possibly can. Obviously, things being what they are can be sometimes difficult, but she has urged me to remind you all that there is strength in teamwork and unity, and that rules are there for a reason. Take that as you like. The next thing is, as a way to help you all with your tendency to explore, as she put it, I've been asked to request of you all that you help out Varel de Lang with some collection of materials for some of the classes that she's going to be working on. This will take place at the end of next term, though, so it's not for a while now. And we'll just require you to go to the Witherbloom campus and just collect some of the kind of components there. Egan, you are part of the Arcanobotany Club, are you not?
Yeah, yes, sir, I am.
That'll probably be a good experience for you anyway. I will just say it's I know it sounds like, you know, this is the university's form of a punishment, which isn't much really, but it's to I think the professors from that sort of faction just want to, I don't really know, get a good look at you and make sure you are having a positive experience here at Strixhaven, and if you're wanting to help out and do, extra things, then collecting some of the components needed for spellcasting is, I guess, a useful way of doing that. So that's what I've been requested to offer you as an opportunity. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. It's entirely up to you.
I like foraging, so it could be fun.
There's probably the opportunity to find a few other things in there. If you're looking into brewing potions anytime, then it might be an opportunity to, I don't know, make some health potions or something. Is why I thought it would be an interesting option.
Count me in. Guys, anyone?
We do actually have need of a magical component that
Correct.
you might be able to point us in the direction of.
Number 4 on my list.
Oh,
I don't know if anybody else has any components, but we are definitely looking for some essence of mimic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, by rights, you probably are owed some anyway, seeing as you dealt with that thing at the start of term. I'm sure maybe after this we can see what we can rustle up,
Excellent, thank you.
But I wanted to talk about something a bit more personal now. Again, still to do with the exam, mind you, if you didn't have any other points that you wanted to bring up before I sort of dive in.
Oh, I have a couple things. I have a number of questions. I was just waiting my turn patiently. Have you ever, in your many, many years here, has anyone ever reported a black mold? Or have you heard more reports about the black ichor? Any of the other deans know about it?
I was talking to somebody about that recently. I was speaking to, who was it? Let me just have a look at my thing. One second. Oh, Professor Totsky. That might be something you want to talk to about that. She is the one who's sorting out I don't know if you've heard about this infernal thing, that talent show that they sort out next semester. But there is, she was talking about how her instruments have started to degrade ever since she's been using the barm, this barm, this eldritch barm or something that she's been working with. It's something we use all over a campus, and she was raising concerns about that after she heard stuff that happened at the tavern. I've been otherwise occupied to really go into it too much, but I mentioned that you lot had said you'd seen it on a couple of occasions now, so.
Okay, we can touch base though. Also, sir, have you ever, by chance, in this room or in your living quarters, have you by chance seen any white and blue spiders? Tiny, small.
Perhaps white and blue spiders that glitch in and out of existence.
Yes, they do that. Pequeño.
No. I have not. Why, have you?
And some of our fellow students, yes. It's not just our room.
In your rooms?
Yeah, near the windows, and I even have to clear up some of the ceiling spaces with me.
Okay, well, this kind of leads into what I wanted to talk about anyway, so.
Does it really?
In a way, aye. Strixhaven was founded by 5 dragons, as you might know, and it's said that those dragons were born out of their snarls that are basically the weaves of magic that overlay each other. Arcavios is two separate planes that merged at one point in history, and where they merged, the different weaves of magic didn't quite fold into each other. If you think of a weave as like a lattice-like structure, or I mean, literally a weave of, like a blanket or something, where they didn't quite fold into each other properly, where the two weaves, didn't quite cross correctly, there's these things called snarls, as you've seen in the middle of the biblioplex. There's quite a large one. And it said that the dragons were born from these bits. Areas around those snarls are more potent in magic, and that's why Strixhaven is built where it is. So...
Oh, that makes perfect sense.
That's why magic on campus sometimes is a bit wobbly, and that's why lots of things happen here that might not happen in other places, or magic might act in a certain way. And well, if the magic's going a bit off at the moment, if it kind of goes in cycles and of like waxes and wanes with its intensity, I can imagine it affecting the extra dimensional spaces that the magical extra dimensional spaces that the dorm rooms are in. So maybe that's part of it. Although it's probably best if you've spoken to Nora about the issues. She's your dormitory liaison.
We just saw her today. We should have mentioned it.
Well, I mean, it's definitely something to mention. I don't have direct control over those things, but that's who I'd take it up with. And of course, if you'd like me to, I don't know what I can do. I can't really take a look, he says, laughing, kind of like gesturing the fact he's blind.
Sure.
But the orc continues. But that is something to consider whilst you're here. I noticed there was some surprise with how like magic works here on campus when I was talking to you in the tavern, so I wanted that to be explained. But it brings me on to the ruin though, because what did you think of what you saw in the ruins? Do any of you remember quite what we were looking into?
It was surprising. And
What about it?
So I mean, from what we learned and the way I took it, I mean, there was kind of this like discovery of magic, and there was a side that said we should control the use of magic, the side of the dragons, and then the other side was magic should be freely given to all essentially creatures of just the plains, which is the other side of the Loxodons and those who sided with them. And from kind of what we saw there, that turned into and maybe it was localized, but it almost seemed like a planar, multi-plane war. And that was not pretty. That was not, I mean, war is never pretty, but this seemed to just be a complete destruction. And I mean, the dragons won. I mean, I think we all know that, but it definitely puts the creation of this school and overall our ability to use magic into a different perspective.
Before I comment on anything, did anyone else want to say anything about what you'd seen in there?
I'm sorry, I just don't know why. I mean, when we found it, like, has anything been done for the people we found down there?
Yes, I've made sure that the folks who we disturbed were put to rest, and their bodies were in a state of burial, but the rites and rituals were never complete. I'm having it seen to that they are given a proper burial.
That's good. Thank you.
No, you're welcome. Does anyone disagree with what Prosperine was saying?
I don't think so.
No, I mean,
It seemed that was my take on it as well.
And then seeing that everyone's like agreed apart from Trevor Plog's eyes, even though they are like white, the orc just looks at you, Trevor.
Oh, sorry, I'm a little lost, to be honest.
Basically, Prosperine was just like recanting what happened in the ruins, and basically saying that it was surprising that there was like people who thought magic should be controlled and magic should be given freely, and the dragons were the ones of control, and the Lockstone were the ones who should be given freely. And
It's almost like it's almost like a multi-planes, you know.
And
like,
then
we know that Arcadios is 2 planes.
And then Prosperine was saying that it's kind of obvious that the dragons won, and that it brings a new perspective and light onto what Strixhaven's all about, effectively. Is that accurate, Spirit?
Correct.
And Plag is asking if you're all in agreement with what Prosperine's just said. If you are,
I would say so too. I don't. Yeah. Sorry, I thought it was more of
that's fine.
a question than an affirmation.
And then, how has it made you think about Strixhaven since you've seen that, and what this place is about? Do you feel?
Well, frankly, it just feels like, dragon magic capitalism, if you ask me. But
Hot take.
to each their own, I suppose.
And
It would seem that the dragons wanted to use the available resources that were here, and I think that is something that has clearly benefited many students at Strixhaven.
Well, now that they made it open to everyone, yes, it's a huge benefit.
That's an interesting point you make. Isn't it strange that they once kept magic so difficult for any mortal to tap into and wage war on the humanoid species that tried to wield it, and then all of a sudden now it's
Yes. They tried to hoard it, you might say.
Well, as a dean of chaos of the University of Strixhaven, which was founded by dragons, I of course would not deign to make disparaging remarks on the dragons.
That is interesting. Why did that change?
I suppose as students, these are answers you're wanting to find you'll have to find for yourselves through your studies. Plag just says very measuredly. There are things at this university that are wonderful. This place has produced some of the finest mages that the plane or any plane has ever seen. Whilst Strixhaven obviously has a history that we are beginning to uncover that was darker, with the Blood Wars and the dragons' evident involvement in them, it is obvious that all of a sudden there was a shift 700 years ago when Strixhaven was created, and humanoids were kept from magic and then invited to have magic. And not only the humanoids of Arcavios, but all of a sudden, all of the planes were able to be brought here. What a
It was a
wonderful,
blessing.
what a wonderful opportunity. I think you should not look that opportunity as any small feat, and should think upon what that opportunity could offer. And there's a pause as a sly smile comes over his face. Of course, I'm old and daft, as Dean Tullis would put it, and my idea that history is not something that repeats itself, but is something that eventually takes constant new and interesting paths, is maybe, well, that's why I'm the Dean of Chaos and she's the Dean of Order, is it not? My point is, wherever you might find, there are many opportunities that Strixhaven can give. There are many opportunities that it will offer you, and you'll find those in coming times plentiful. But whether there are opportunities and order and a certain way of things, whether it be the opportunity to get a graduate job at, Deep Mine Industries, or to better yourself so that you can take home all the skills that you learn to help your family, he says, moving from Sven to Aegon, to end something that has afflicted and affected you, he says, looking at Prosperain. Whether it is to understand a deeper meaning and experience things to help you with your art, he says, looking at Dravrax, or whether it is to right wrongs of the past and grow, he says, looking to Seymour, is entirely up to you. But whatever you do after university, you must understand that those that follow the path of order and are able to take all these opportunities are the ones that most likely to join something as prestigious as the Dragon Guard, those that defend and look after the interests of the dragons in Arcavios. And those that make their own paths, well, those that choose not to stick together, to look around every corner and to delve deeper into things, those people might find their time here more difficult, but their experiences might be richer for it nonetheless. I cannot advise that you act in ways that I have seen, or even that you take it upon yourselves to look into certain mysteries or to try and acquire certain things all on your own gusto, but I do think it is important you always look to make and find your own way, despite what paths are laid out before you. It is the only path that's really an option to you, is the one that you carve out for yourself, in my humble opinion. One thing I would like to offer, though, at the end of this long and tiring speech of an old man, I do apologise for probably boring you all half to sleep, is that there are people here, faculty members, who, whilst we follow the path laid out before us and stick to the regimen that we are given, much like when the two planes met, the two weaves didn't quite match up and there was always these snarls and tangles. We know that sometimes those tangles, those snarls, hold the most magical potential and are able to do great things, even if they don't quite meet the status quo. So should you find yourself having a diverging path, make sure you speak to somebody that maybe understands that and can help you out. Don't worry about reaching out to ask for help, as long as you trust the person you're asking. Talking about asking for help, I'm supposed to clean this place out, and I was wondering if you wanted to assist me in that. I'm sure there are a few things that you could find around here that would be of use to you, such as this mimic essence, is it? Only if you wanted, of course.
That would be lovely.
And before I get up off my arse, is there anything you wanted to ask me?
Is it before the students leave, is it common knowledge to find out what we found out in that tomb?
I did not know that the tomb had that kind of history.
Okay. Wow.
So, I
Breaking.
mean, we're just kind of taught that all of this really wonderful stuff in place just kind of happened, and this dark and sad and ugly truth just never gets taught anywhere. How has no one remembered this for 700 years?
People just gotta live and make a living. It's hard to. Not everyone's committed to preserving this kind of stuff. Not everyone even cares, Eogan.
Oh.
When people want to forget things, when something horrible happens, most times people bury it or burn it. It's
Never
important.
burn it.
It's important to have those options because it helps us find peace. We should always be able to put our dead to rest so that we can find peace. But if you ever look for something, if you're ever looking for something, then and it's been forgotten, the likelihood is it's either burnt, it's either buried or burnt.
That seems awful and extreme. And I mean, we only burn dead leaves just to clear some space. I can't
bet it
imagine
makes
burning
huge
whole
columns of-
history.
Yeah.
Oh,
Poor Daisy.
I obviously am not talking about, burning history. It's I'm evidently
That's kind
tired
of-
and just talking in riddles now, I suppose.
Yeah, maybe. It's been a long few days, and you've clearly still gotta recover a bit.
There are people, if you've ever got questions though, don't feel like you can't talk to me, you can. As long as I'm able to be here, I'll try and help.
Good to know, sir. Thank you.
And sir, if you did ever need, although I am busy with my studies, I'll tell you no if I'm too busy. If you do ever need somebody to go do something, you can always hit me up.
Thank you. I appreciate
I
that.
feel feel like this is the kind of conversation that you always see a character having, like, the night before they're found mysteriously murdered.
I'm going to say that's where we're going to end the session for tonight.
Ominous. Ominous note at the
Next
end.
session, Wargus
Dun, dun.
mysteriously disappeared.
And I'm going to have to quickly
We have
run
to go on
to let my cat out, but I'm going to end the stream, and then when I come back, we can do questions, comments, thingies. Wishes,
Sure.
does
Okay.
wishes. Right, I'll be right back, like literally two secs.